Again, I apologise for having to record on this, but here we go.
This story begins with the Civil Revolution of Russia that saw the start of the Reds in 1919. My grandfather's family sought to flee Russia because of this. With the rise of the Reds in the west of Russia, like many Russians, they were going to flee through the east of Russia and then head down into North China. They fled via the Shan Railway, but then during the journey, my grandfather's mother gave birth to him at a railway station in Siberia with the bitter and unforgiving cold surrounding. His name was Andrew Osterman. Through the agonizing hardship they had just endured, they finally ended up in North China with my grandfather only a few months old. The town that my grandfather grew up in was called Tianjin. It had international boundaries that subdivided up many nationalities, but then in the 1930s, his family moved to Vietnam where his father worked as a civil engineer. Wanting to follow his father's footsteps, 2 years before the Second World War, he yet again moved, and this time to Hong Kong to study engineering at the Hong Kong University. However, with the bombing of Pearl Harbor in 1941, Hong Kong was dragged into World War II, and he was not able to finish his civil engineering training as he was part of the volunteer army that defended Hong Kong. Unfortunately, the Japanese won, and the next 4 years of his life was spent as a prisoner of war enslaved by the Japanese. The conditions were cruel, every day was a small battle, and they only got fed a small amount of food. During this time, he had two friends who were brothers named Bobby and Castro. They all helped each other endure those hard years. During this time, Bobby and Castro's sister came to get a glimpse of him. My grandfather also got a glimpse of their sister through a barbed wire fence. Little did he know she would later become his wife. After the war, he only weighed 45 kilos when the prisoners were released, but he still built back his life and started to work basic jobs at hotels. He then moved up the ranks to better jobs. Later, with the life he had built up, from nearly nothing, he married the woman he saw through the barbed wire at the camps named Aida. Communism, however, was not done with my grandfather. After China became communist and Mao Zedong won the war, during their honeymoon, they carried the title deeds of the Peninsula Hotel, where he was currently working, over to the new communist government. They then moved to Hong Kong, and my grandfather became the assistant manager of the Repulse Bay Hotel. In the years 1949 to 1953, they had 3 children and gave them a good life in Hong Kong. He and his family yet again moved from Hong Kong to Australia because Hong Kong was going to be handed over to the Communist government of China, where it would have an uncertain future. Although he was sad about leaving the place where he had spent so much of his life and done so much, his life in Australia was good, as he lived happily and at peace, before he died surrounded by his family.